time when people want us to come together, and we're prepared to come together tomorrow night, that this assault would be made. But we cannot let that be a victory for the assailant or anyone who would think that way. So tomorrow we'll go out on the field, we'll root for our team, we want everyone to do his or her very best, and we will use this occasion as one that brings us together and not separates us further. And with that, again, I want to thank the Speaker for bringing us together, and again, with endless gratitude to our Capitol Police, in particular today, of course, Crystal Griner, David Bailey, but never out of our prayers, Detective John Gibson and Officer Jacob Chestnut.
Representative Pelosi from California, and, I don't usually agree with her in most accounts, but you could tell that she was choked up. She needs a glass of water, but emotional, and it's true. It's America's favorite pastime. Baseball brings us together. Sports brings us together, and the game is going to continue tomorrow, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, what is not more American than baseball? Seriously, what's not more American than that? And I got to tell you, I loved Alexandria, Virginia, spending summers there, and I lived right down from Old Town, which was great, and I got onto the Metro and took it to the White Flint stop in Maryland, and went to work for Clear Channel when I worked there, and I moved there and then here. And I've been stuck here since 2001. And if you didn't know, we actually do the broadcast from Tampa, Florida. If you're joining us today, we're talking about what has taken place that's stunned the nation once again, and that's a shooting in Alexandria, Virginia, where Democrats and Republicans were coming together, getting ready for tomorrow's game, in a bipartisan effort to raise money for boys and girls in the D.C. area. And it's just so sad to see House Majority Steve Scalise, he's in surgery now, and he's going to be all right. And also some Capitol Police officers that were shot as well during a baseball practice game in Alexandria, Virginia. And the U.S. Capitol Police took the gunman down, and we now know the shooter has been identified as 66-year-old James Hodgkinson. They say that really fast. He's from Illinois. And it's been confirmed, and it's believed from several accounts that this guy was politically motivated and clearly wanted to make sure that it was the Republicans that were on the field, that the Republicans were actually going to get this barrage of bullets. He fired off 50 of them. Could have been a lot worse. Thank God, once again, for his providence, God protecting Capitol Police, working through them to make sure that things were taken care of in an expedient way. And that's really a beautiful thing and really a testament to them, because obviously it's a huge target. Senators, that lawmakers and stuff on Capitol Hill, but also landmarks. And so you want to definitely feel safe when you come to Washington, D.C., when you're going to visit the Capitol and visit the monuments. And Arlington, there's a lot of security, and they're there to protect not just them, but the Capitol Police are there to protect citizens as well. And so it's nice to see that they're on the job, doing what they're supposed to do, and that's a good thing. But they're heroes. Thank God for the men in uniform that came to the rescue. That's a good thing. And it is nice to see the bipartisan effort taking place right now on Capitol Hill, where Democrats and Republicans, though they argue about many different subjects, some of the most important issues that you know about, but they're coming together in prayer. And we saw that after 9/11. It just seems after tragedies, people are reminded again, the most important things. And as Nancy Pelosi said herself, the most important thing is family. At the end of the day. And don't you think that these senators did not call their loved ones, or the loved ones was trying to get a hold of them to make sure that they were actually safe? I mean, when it's all said and done, we have our jobs and then we have our family. And it's those that, love us when we're sick, love us when we're not pretty, love us when we fall and stumble. It's them. And so they are very grateful, obviously, that not one of them is going to actually die or have any debilitating effects from the shooting. It appears that other than the gunman, he lost his life completely, died from his wounds. He put himself in a very vicarious situation. Clearly, if you're shooting at senators and you're in that area, he had to have known that he was going to be met with some force, and in fact that he was. But you're going to get people from, the opposite end of the spectrum talking about more gun control and all of this other stuff. And, they're going to latch. It'll be a conversation later this week. You'll hear it from the left. We got stricter penalties and regulations, and we have plenty of laws on the books, and we have plenty of regulations, and if it's just enforced, that would be a good thing. But bad people always get guns. There's always going to be loose cannons, and this guy could have had permits for his gun. Could have been in the service. We really don't know a lot about him. There are a lot of people probably Googling, trying to find out what his background is, something about him. But they'll find out what it was about. They're going to dig up his life, and that's what investigations do. Congressman Bill Johnson of Ohio, he had to be on the Hill, so he actually left 5 minutes before this all went down, and this is what he said a little bit earlier.
Well, as an orthopedic surgeon who've taken care in...
All right, that's not the right one. We need Bill Johnson. Do we have him? Okay, we do have. Okay, here he is.
The only thing that I noticed, and I have reached out to the Capitol Hill Police to make sure that they know that I'm prepared to give them a statement if they want one, as I was leaving the complex and had pulled out on the street that parallels the parking lot there at the baseball complex. There was a white male who was very lethargically, slowly getting in and out of his van parked along the street. Now, I didn't speak to this individual. I didn't see any weapons. The only reason that I noted it was because I had to slow down and wait for him to kind of meander out of the middle of the street back toward his van. And I would never have thought anything about it had I not heard about this.
And he was on with Bill Hemmer a little bit earlier today on Fox. Now, this is the cut that we really wanted. And it's okay. It's all good. It's all relevant to the story here. So Bill Johnson had to be at Capitol Hill, and, God knows he may have been one that would receive the bullet, but this is what he had to say about leaving.
I had a meeting back on the Hill, early morning meeting, so I had to leave a little early, and I left probably 5 minutes before everything happened. So you've probably heard from others that were there that can give you more of a bird's eye view, but this is absolutely tragic.
No question.
Yeah, what is the mood on the Hill? Senator Tim Scott speaks a little bit more specifically on that, and I think it probably resonates to a lot of the senators.
It's certainly a mood of caution. There's a lot of sadness on the Hill, a lot of prayers. The one thing about a crisis is it brings people together, which is good news for our country. We seem to operate best when we are under crisis, and this is another opportunity for us to say to the law enforcement, and specifically the Capitol Police, thank you for your very quick responses. Without your responses, people would have lost their lives this morning, likely, and so we're so thankful for law enforcement being present and doing their jobs at the highest level possible.
And we got the senators all lined up. Representative Rodney Davis of Illinois, we understand that he was actually at bat.
I was. I remember being at bat, and Will, one of the pitchers that was throwing to us, threw me a great fastball, and we heard a loud bang, and I stopped and said, "What was that?" And the next thing I heard was everybody said, "Run, he's got a gun." And we all ran into the dugout and then dispersed from there. But from what my colleagues were telling me and other witnesses, that he was on the third base side. But I went into the first base dugout, and as most of us did, and then we dispersed from there. But our thoughts and prayers are with Steve Scalise, the staffers, and those who were injured. And I got to tell you, it would have been a lot worse without Steve Scalise's detail. Those Capitol policemen are heroes.
Man, don't underestimate a good police officer. I mean, that's what they train for. This is what they do. They're courageous, like our men and women in uniform that go on the front line. that serve our military. It's that same dedication to service to God and country, and thank God they stepped in front. These people dive in front of bullets, folks, and believe it or not, they'll actually do it for you. There was a dog park behind the dugout there. I mean, there was people just all over the place, but it did look like the motivating factor was the senators and also the Capitol Police, those that were actually shooting at him, because he did return fire, was aiming it towards them, but they quickly, luckily, took him out, because this could have been a lot worse. Like I said, 50 rounds he fired off. The chief of police, Mike Brown, from Alexandria, Virginia, is going to speak in a little bit, and we're going to air that and what he had to say from the great city of Alexandria. This half hour brought to you by 123 Ready TV. Have you heard about that app? And if you've heard us talk about the app and you're just uncertain about it, why don't you check it out for yourself? I'll tell you where you can check it out for yourself. At forthepeopleshow.com. You got to go to our website, forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page. Now, you can do that on your mobile device to check it out. You can check it out on your desktop version. Whatever, check it out. This is the coolest thing that I've come across in a long time, and I have people calling me from all over the country thanking me for making this available. And actually, it was proposed by the founder of this broadcast, Chuck Harder. His daughter actually said, you can make a few cents per sale to help you with listener-supported For the People. It's not a lot, but it's a little something. Would you like to check it out? So I did, and I started falling in love with movies all over again, especially the ones that I wasn't able to go to the movies to see. I mean, let's face it, you can't. But when you have time to watch this stuff, especially when friends recommend things, you can take this app. You don't have to go to Redbox. You don't have to buy monthly subscriptions, because all that stuff can weigh you down, especially if you're trying to save money. 123 Ready TV allows you to watch all those movies that are in the movie theater, all those movies that were in the movies, ever were in the movies, and all your TV shows, all in one place. How does it find it? Well, it's on the internet, and it finds it. It brings it to you front and center. All you have to do is just scroll through the titles. Type in a title. And the coolest thing is that I love is there's no commercials. Hate commercials. And actually, I do commercials for a living, and I teach the art of voice acting, which is a lot of commercials. But 123 Ready TV is truly a godsend if you're looking to save money and you love entertainment, period. Get it today. Oh, how much? $19.99. Just one-time deal. One time, $19.99 gets you the app. See it in action. Watch the video on our store page at forthepeopleshow.com. You can download it right there off our website. And believe me, you'll be absolutely thrilled that you did. All right, we're back with more For the People. Keith Allen here. Representative, Rodney, I loved what he had to say about prayer today, and that people were coming together and they were praying and holding hands, Democrats and Republicans holding hands. Can you imagine that? Bowing their heads to the Lord above, and hoping that the senator is well, and all those that were injured, asking God to heal them. I mean, that is really cool. I really just hope that tightens things up, and maybe that'll have a positive effect moving forward. Wouldn't that be nice to unite Congress together so we can actually get some jobs done, some work done for the American people instead of gridlocking everything in Washington? Imagine that. All right, here is the chief of police from Alexandria, Virginia, Mike Brown, earlier today. Chief of police.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Brown, chief of the Alexandria Police Department. This BROWN. Thank you. We're here today to give you an update on the incident that occurred this morning here in Alexandria. And let me repeat, if I can, some of the facts that we do know at this point. Before I start, though, I want to say that this incident is not an active incident. The city is safe. We have an active investigation going on for the incident that took place this morning. But I want to reassure the community here in Alexandria that this city is indeed safe. We will continue to work with the investigation as it moves forward. The facts as we have it this morning, again, at 0709, 9 minutes after 7 o'clock, we received a 911 call of an active shooter at Simpson Park here on Monroe in Alexandria. Our units responded and were on scene within 3 minutes. The officers received fire from a suspect, and they returned fire. and that part of the investigation is ongoing as we speak. We